5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I
didn't do it because I didn't know how to do it. You killed it. You killed it.
That was me singing in cursive. I got all red right now.
That was good.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I think that worked.
That's an excellent. Hello, everybody. Happy 2024, and welcome back to another episode of Hand Me Down Podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Natalia.
And I'm Alan.
And welcome to the new year. I feel like we haven't done this in a while, so I feel like I'm still trying to get into it again. Because I'm just like, dang, when was the last time we filmed?
December 11th.
December 11th?
So
that's a long time.
By the way, here at Hand Me Down Podcast, we take no breaks. Just kidding. We did take a break, but we're literally shooting this on the 1st of January.
On the 1st of January, because we were like, all right, we had our little la-di-da vacation moments, and now we're back to business.
Let's start off the year strong with the thing we hopefully will do a lot of in 2024, which is podcasting.
Yeah. So, I mean, speaking of like being on vacation mode, I feel like last episode was also still a little bit like less structured. Same thing to expect in this episode, I think. Just a little bit less of structure, just a little bit more warming up for the new year. So let's go ahead and talk about what to expect in this episode.
Yeah, definitely. So last episode, we kind of talked about a little bit kind of reflections of 2023. But we didn't really go in depth and we didn't really talk about other things. So in this episode, we are going to go ahead and talk about our music wraps or replays, right?
Inclusivity.
For Apple Music listeners. So we're going to talk about the music, our wraps, go over that real quickly. Not too much to discuss, but quickly. And then we're going to go ahead and go into movies that we saw in 2023, either our favorites or just movies that we had opinions about. We're not going to do solely movies that came out in 2023, but the movies that we saw in 2023. And then we're just going to go ahead and reflect on 2023. So we're just going to go month by month and kind of like highlights or things that like stand out and reflect on those. And that'll be the end of the podcast. So it's going to be lengthy, I think.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like it's just going to be like a little nice little chat. Like if we were having a little sleepover and we were just like hanging out or just like catching up on lore.
Practicing gratitude.
Yes, that as well. So with that being said, I mean, before we go into the episode, should we do a little bit of housekeeping?
Let's do housekeeping. Guys, thank you so much for starting off the new year with us, with your friends at Hand Me Down Podcast. We appreciate it very, very much. If you're listening on a podcast platform, go ahead and give us a review and give us a rating. It helps us out a lot and helps push out our podcast even further. If you are listening on or watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, that also helps boost us in the algorithm. And if you didn't do any of that, go ahead and follow us on social media at Hand Me Down Pod on Instagram and on TikTok. Not only do you get really good updates about episodes on Instagram, but both on Instagram and TikTok, we post the highlights of each episode. So if you miss an episode, hey, don't sweat it. You can catch all the highlights, all the funniest parts on our social media. So if you do that, that's all good. And also, new addition to this housekeeping is the Discord.
Oh, yes. The Discord is something that we've been kind of wanting to start for a while. And, you know, we figured that the new year would be the perfect time to start that. It's a way that we think that we're able to get a little bit more on a personal engagement with our listeners. So be on the lookout for our Discord, which will be coming out very, very soon. And hopefully we can chat it up, have a little giggle, have a little laugh and talk about the show, the episode, what you guys think and what you guys want us to talk about. Great little one-on-one I think we can have.
Yeah, we'll try to have it up by the time this episode comes out, so it should be in the description down below. But yeah, it's just like for everybody to talk. We hate having this be a one-way conversation. We want to hear what you guys have to say, and we think a Discord would be the easiest place to do that. So look out for that. And with that, let's go ahead and go into the rest of the episode.
Slay. So, I mean, usually we do catch-ups, but I feel like we were literally just together for like the past 48 hours.
48 hours?
Well, no, not 48 hours.
24. 20 plus hours.
24 less than 28. A lot of driving.
Yeah. So I guess, do you want to tell the story
Of
just what happened or why
why
we've been together for 24 hours?
Well, we celebrated New Year's together. I had literally just gotten home from Mexico. I spent Christmas in Mexico, and I had just gotten home and didn't have any New Year's plans. And I was just like, do you have New Year's plans? And he was just like, hey, fuck it, we do something? Where I was like, I'm down. He's just like, hey, fuck it, we go to Coachella? And I was like, yeah, but I guess Alan will tell you why we went to Coachella.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have anything to do because my mom and my brother had COVID, but I had COVID already, so like I couldn't spread it anymore. And I was like, well, I'll do something. And my girlfriend, she's from Coachella, so I was like, well, I can go visit her. I wanted, I love my girlfriend, and I wanted to see her for New Year's Eve, but I've also never had a New Year's kiss, and I feel like I've had a girlfriend for a lot of New Year's, but it's just like never happened. So I was like, I want a New Year's kiss. She's like, well, come. And I was like, okay. And I was like, let's go. And then our other friend, Jaina, was also in Coachella because of her grandparents. So we're like, perfect.
Just a little party in the Coachella Valley. Mountains were beautiful. I was looking at that all morning. I think like we just walked outside and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. But it was a lot of fun. Ate some great food. Had some great company with some great people, and fell asleep on the most comfortable couch in the world. I was out like a light and watched Trolls World Tour, and it was really good.
It was great. Yeah. We did watch Trolls World Tour, and I didn't see the first one, but that second one was really good. But speaking about the New Year's kiss, we were trying to do like the good luck traditions, like the Latino ones where you like stuff your mouth with grapes or 12 grapes. And obviously, guys, I wanted a New Year's kiss, so I tried to down those grapes as fast as I could so that I could get the kiss out at midnight. I was just like, whoa. Like I did it so fast. I was just like,
Is that why you were going so fast? I thought you were like serious about the timing, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna get any good luck because he like finished it.
No, I was just like, I want the kiss. I want the kiss at midnight. I was like literally looking at the seconds on my clock. I was like, okay. Like a little fucking chipmunk just downing them.
I just see him from the corner of my eye, just like inhaling them, and I started like being like, oh shit, am I supposed to be going that fast? So then I started doing it, and then I ended up being miserable because there's just so much juice in my mouth and in my tummy. And I did it, and I got the kiss, and I was like, okay. And then it worked out.
Then we had champagne.
That's so funny. I didn't know that's why you were going so fast.
I don't think anyone knew that's the reason why, but I was like, I need to.
Damn.
Also because like we put the TV and that countdown was different than the countdown or you put your phone.
I put my phone. I was watching like a YouTube live stream, and it was like 2 minutes off. I was like, what do you guys mean it's already 11:59?
Yeah, Jana's like, we have to do it now. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, anyway, so that was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
That's literally what we just came back from. So yeah, we usually do catch up, but I'm like, damn, we were
we caught up a lot already, but I guess we'll catch up a little bit more towards the end. Yeah. Because I feel like there are stories that we haven't told you guys. Like, it's been weeks, like 2-3 weeks since we last recorded. So there's like a lot that we want to tell you, but we'll save it because we got to get through this ASAP. Should we go over our music then?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just jump right into the first topic of the episode, which is the Spotify Wrapped or Apple Music Replay. For all you Apple Music users out there, you guys are the sexiest people alive.
I'm a Spotify user. I took that personally.
I didn't say Spotify users weren't sexy. I said Apple Music users were sexier.
Roll the tape. Oh, sexier. There you go.
What?
Sexier.
Sexier? I don't get it.
Never mind. Anyways, let's go.
I was like, huh?
Go.
Anyway, as you can tell, I am a loyal Apple Music girly, and everybody bullies Apple Music users. And you know what? Sometimes I laugh at the jokes because I'm just like, I feel like as me being so middle child coded, as I like talk about a lot on this podcast, I just learned to like also laugh like with the people that are laughing at
Fair.
at me or something like that. So I'm just like, haha. But I do genuinely think the memes are really funny. Sometimes I'm just like,
I feel like
so
the
funny.
hate has gotten less intense though.
It's less intense and it's more a bit, I think. And I think that's why I think it's
see.
really funny.
I feel like the first year Spotify Wrapped came out, like the first time they did it, that was like going out for blood, dude.
Yeah.
The hate was real.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just here for a good time. I'm just here listening to my music. I love looking at what other people listen to. If you thought nobody cared, I did. I cared a lot what you were listening to. So anyway, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Just really, really quick segment here. Do you want to start off with genres?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. So according to my Apple Music replay, my top genre was alternative pop and R&B / soul, which is very much true, I think. Oh, I mean, I guess pop is kind of threw me for a loop, but alternative and R&B, soul.
Do you feel like it's been like that for a while, or
What?
are any of these new, or just like these top?
Oh no,
three?
it's stayed pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't have like a new era.
Good, nice. My top genres are Urbano Latino. That was the first one, followed by pop, which was whoa. Second genre is pop. I
Dang.
guess I do like pop music.
He's copying me.
I'm a pop troll.
He's a pop
Only real troll heads will understand my reference. Me only watching one movie. And then it was rap, which that surprised me. I feel like I don't listen to that much rap. If anything, I would listen to more hip hop than rap.
I feel like what we were listening to on the way here was that rap.
It was rap. I guess.
I feel like that kind of like
because it's like chill rap, not
I guess. That kind of surprised me though. I feel like because I was just like, oh, like the lyrics to all of these songs, and I guess like I've never seen like your rap like persona come out. So I was just like
Drake. I was just
Drake.
And then música mexicana, which is very broad, and then Latin pop.
Okay, slay. All right, so I mean, would you say that's reflective of you?
Reflective? Yes, I feel like recently I've been on a very much Latino music like journey, like maybe the past 2-3 years. So that is pretty much, yeah, I would say it's pretty accurate.
He's Latina. All right, so moving on to songs. Okay, songs. My top songs were actually not reflective of, I think, what I listened to. And that is because I am what people like to call a shuffle girly. I don't listen to my music in playlists. I don't make any playlist really. I just hit shuffle on literally all my like songs and you'll get every single genre that way.
How do you get more like songs though?
What do you mean?
Like, if you only listen to your like songs, how do you like other songs? Like, when is an instant where you like a song?
Like, how do I go about liking a song?
Yeah.
Or I think it's different on Spotify than it is on Apple Music, because when you like a song, you just add it to your library, and just like, so the library.
Yeah, but how do you
grows.
discover that song?
Oh,
you know,
on Apple's radio, like they're just like, radio.
So you do listen to the radio, or you don't just.
Well, when I'm feeling like I can explore and stuff, but also a lot of times I get a lot of music on TikTok too, that like people suggest music and stuff, and I'm like hee. Or like my little sister, I always steal a lot of music from her. Like she will be playing a song, I'm just here Shazamming, like, because I don't want to like give her that high
the
of
validation.
like, that she put me onto something, and I'm just like. Anyway.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that was like my big question, but so top songs are just like would be also random, so that I saw my top song and I was like, that one, I was like, okay, I don't really not really extremely fond of it, but yeah. My top song of the year was, get ready, 1% by Grupo Frontera and Bad Bunny, which, Natalia, you lived with me for half of the year. Is that true?
Very much true. I feel like I associate that song with you and with summer, I think.
Yeah, so good. It's so good. I love it. And then every other song is Bad Bunny. Every other, like my top 5 songs are Bad Bunny. Second one is Where She Goes. which that one came out like in April, and I was like, damn, I thought it came out later, and I was like, still made the top 5. And then the rest of the 3 are Neverita, Más Como, and Me Porto Bonito, which are from his past album of 2022. So yeah, those are my songs.
Slay. Those are all bops.
Thank you.
All right, and then so next, really quick, artists. For me, my top artist this year was Beyonce, which was the same as last year. Followed by Paramore. I'm a loyal Paramore girly since.
Did that album come out this year?
This Is Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year or last year?
Oh, you're
2023,
right.
2023, I guess.
Whoa.
But go ahead.
Paramore. And then it was Jungle. I got into Jungle this summer. Changed my life, but we'll go into that in the next one. Followed by The Strokes and Chicano Batman. So I feel like...
Great artist.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Those are very much like on par, or like that really does represent.
I associate those. I associate a lot of these with you. Yeah. So that's lit.
Slay.
Also with Swendy, it was my girlfriend. Like 3 of these, I think, are also associated with her.
Yeah, me and Swendy, that's how we bonded. Music. We're like, oh shit, you listen to that too.
My top artist, number 1, of course, Bad Bunny. I can't deny it. I am Latino. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask to be born Latina. Nomás tuve suerte.
The second one is Luis Miguel. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm Latino. I'm just an old soul. Just kidding.
He's just a señora. He's just a señora in a man's body.
He's just, his voice, like the mariachi stuff also. Anyways, number 3 is Karol G. Third artist is Karol G. Not that my girlfriend played her a lot, but she introduced me to Karol G, and I was like, she's really good. And I just played it a lot too. So really good. Mañana Será Bonito, great album. So I think that's why Karol G is up here. Then Rauw Alejandro, also got into him more. I think 2023 was his year for me. Congrats.
Congrats, Rauw. You made it.
But like, I feel like before it was like Bad Bunny. And now I like started to venture off into other reggaeton artists, and Rauw was there. The 5th one, Bruno Mars. I think he's here because he's a legacy. Bruno Mars was my top artist for a very long time when I had Spotify, like earlier. And I feel like I didn't listen to him that much in 2023. But he's here. He's a legacy. He deserved his spot. He did his time. And he's here at number 5.
Because I associate Bruno Mars with you as well. Because I feel like when we first moved in together, you would always listen to Bruno Mars. So right now I'm shook that you're just like, why is he here? Because I feel like...
But I feel like I didn't listen to him as much. That's what I'm saying. This year. Yeah.
He found a way. He's like at the bottom. He's like, Alan.
But yeah, I mean, I guess Silk Sonic, that album, although it came out in 2022, I guess I was also still playing it a lot because it was good. Yeah, I don't have albums, or at least in my rap they didn't show me. I feel like if I were to dig, I would be able to find it, but
dang. Yeah, so. Well, I was just talking about my top album, which was Volcano by Jungle. Dude, the way I think I discovered Jungle like August.
Yeah.
And I literally had like 60 plays. Like I was like, I loved that album so much. I feel like, because I mean, like most people saw the music video for Back on 74 on TikTok, and like it's really catchy, and the choreography is really good. So I like watched the music video and I was like, oh my God, this kind of eats. And then we had Swendy's birthday party, and one of our friends, Victor, was just like, have you listened to the whole album? Like I listened to it and it's really good. And then that's back when I was employed, guys. So I would drive an hour commute to work and I would listen to that album, and it was like, I didn't even care that I was sitting in traffic. I was like, oh, and I feel like it that's
a good album.
It's a really good album, and I feel like it took me by surprise because I don't typically like that dance genre of like, because that's like kind of what it is. But this one, the way that the songs transition into each other, the way that I don't understand what the hell they're saying, but I'm just like,
I do think, not that it sucks at the beginning, but I do think it grows on you like heavily. I feel like the first time I listened to it, I was like, it's good, but it's like, I don't know if I'd revisit it. And then I listened to it the second time and I was like, you know what? I would work out to the album a lot too.
It was so good. I was like, it's too good. I feel like I listened to it like yesterday probably. Like, or anytime when I hit shuffle and one of the songs come on, I'm like, yeah, like, oh, it's so good. But I mean, right after that, the album is This Is Why, which we literally just talked about.
Yeah.
Came out this year by Paramore. Or last year, sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
So it's like when you go to school and you write the date and you have to fucking scribble the 3 because it's 2024 now.
Okay. I feel like I'm going to do that for a while. I also just never know what day it is ever. So,
True.
So it's going to be fun for me. But anyway, so that was our Spotify Wrapped / Apple Music replay. Let us know in the comments what yours was. I feel like that's always really fun. Like I said, I care. Don't think for a second I wouldn't. And if you like any of the artists that we talked about, let us know, because I feel like...
Or check them out.
Check them out. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everybody would know the artist on mine. But I don't know. If you're not familiar with Jungle, go check them out. If you're not familiar with Chicano Batman, go check them out.
Very good. Very great artists. All right. Moving on from music to movies that we saw in 2023, which may not necessarily be movies that were released in 2023, but movies that we definitely enjoyed in 2023. So would you like to start?
Of course. So, I mean, this is a movie that we both watched, so we'll both give our opinions. And it's, I think, an opinion that I've been wanting to get from you in a while. So I was like looking forward to having this discussion, because I was just like, let's revisit that. Bottoms. That movie, we watched it. It was good. We laughed. But what are your opinions about it now? Or have they changed? What do you think? I don't think we got like I don't remember getting a concrete response from you when we first watched it.
I think, I'd only seen it once. So this is like based off of just the very first time that we saw it. We rented it at my place and we watched it with a group of people. I had been seeing a bunch of stuff on Twitter, and this was also around the era where like I didn't really have social media. So like ever so often I would see things on about the movie Bottom. So I was really excited about it. It looked like it was really funny. And I watched it, and I think I was just like, I didn't expect it to be like that kind of humor, but I still enjoyed it. It took me a while to adjust to it, but I was just like, everything that was happening, I was just like, this is so funny. I thought the world building was really funny, and I was just like, the circumstances that they found themselves in and just like the raunchiness of it, I thought was really enjoyable. And I feel like definitely once you get adjusted to the type of jokes that it has and the type of like comedy that it has, and you like realize that, okay, this is going to be a space where they are going to like joke about that, then you start to like embrace the world, and you start to appreciate the characters and just like how bizarre they are and how bizarre they portray the fucking football fool. Oh my god, he was
Jeff.
Is that what his name?
Yeah, I think it was Jeff.
It was just so good, and I thought it was really enjoyable. It was nothing like I've ever seen before personally, with like that queer twist on it.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. I think you're right. I think once you get used to it, you go all in. It like leans into absurdity, I would say. A little bit of kind of like surrealism, where it's like, this would not happen at all. People don't behave like this, but it's fun to see it on screen.
Yeah, I think I was expecting, based off of like the things that I saw on Twitter, I was expecting a comedic world in the same way of like Mean Girls, or like in a similar tone of that, but it wasn't. And it was kind of like a good surprise. Like I was just like, oh, like this, it took me a while to get used to it, like I said, but then once you get used to how bizarre it is, really funny, really enjoyable movie.
It just like leans into everything, and like, I don't know how to explain it.
I thought it was funny.
It's really good. It was a movie that I really enjoyed. Well done. Actors were great. Rachel Sennett, I believe is her name, who was also in Bodies.
That's the first time I saw her, was in Bodies, which I also loved. Bodies. I heard a lot of people didn't like it, but Bodies, so good. So good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so that's Bottoms.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. Another one, or maybe let's talk about Which one of these have you watched? Just this one?
Just Barbie.
Okay.
And then I started watching this one and I stopped.
Okay. So do you want to talk about Barbie first, or should I talk about Oppenheimer first?
Maybe I guess Oppenheimer first.
Okay. I saw Oppenheimer in IMAX, like true IMAX. I went to Irvine because my brother wanted to watch it in like true IMAX. We sat in the front row.
Ooh.
So, like, I mean, just watching any movie in the front row sucks, but an IMAX movie where the screen is huge, I was just like, or like second row, I think. But I enjoyed it. It was good. It was very, very beautiful. The cinematography was really good. Interesting story. It is a movie you really have to fucking pay attention to because these people are talking like you know what they're talking about science and shit. With interesting themes. One of the things that I sent you was that the script it looks like the script was written in first person.
Yeah.
Which was
I did see that.
What did you think of that?
I thought that was really interesting. I honestly, I knew the whole Barbenheimer thing was going on and I had zero interest in Oppenheimer. I'm sorry. Like, I know it was like a really, like, I believe it was a great film. I just did not care.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
That's fine.
So I honestly don't know what it's about at all still to this day. But when I saw parts of the script that were being shared online and it looked like it was written in first person, I thought that was really interesting. Because like then I just start to like think of or like question the other screenwriting structures that I also learned in school and like how would that look like if you're talking in first person. But then I guess it also made it even more of a character driven story, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you saw it, so like how did that
but I mean like even just like the title, it's like Oppenheimer, like that's the guy. So it's like this is his movie. So I think it makes sense for them to write it in first person and to like it's his point of view through the world. But it also like intercuts like the court scenes. It's like one of those movies where they're telling the story, but there's like a lot of it is taking place in court. Like, have you seen The Social Network?
No.
That one also does that. I'm trying to think of another one, but yeah, interesting. It was good. I liked it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I don't know if I'd watch it though because I heard it was fucking long, dude.
It was long.
I don't think I could sit for that long.
That was also my first time in an IMAX theater, and I was like, this is crazy. It was like a whole ass like hallway to get to the theater. I was like, shit. But that's all I have to say about Oppenheimer.
Well, let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into Barbie.
Yeah, let's get into Barbie. We haven't talked about Barbie at all on this podcast. Let's talk about Barbie.
Barbie. Okay. Hi, Barbie. So Barbie was really fun. I feel like I had watched it pretty late after its release. It had been in the theaters for a while, and
you're right, yeah.
And I had made a TikTok about it, but I was just like, there's so many inside jokes on Twitter. I had no clue what anybody was talking about, and I felt so left out. Like, everybody was saying Mojo Dojo Casa House, and I thought you guys were talking about Powerpuff Girls. I was like, I thought you guys were talking about Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls.
You're just like, your Google searches are just Mojo Dojo. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I was just like Mojo
Powerpuff
Jojo.
Girls,
Like, I was
trending question mark.
I was like, guys, I don't think it's Mojo Dojo. I think it's Mojo Jojo, but go off, I guess.
Go off. The internet would have been a better place if I was on a social media right now.
And so I was just really confused, and I was really confused on why everybody was saying Sublime and stuff like that. And just like, I just saw that all over my Twitter. And then I finally watched it and I was just like, this is where that was from? Like, I had no context. I had no idea it was from Barbie until I started watching it and he said Mojo Dojo Casa House. And I literally had like
the light bulb.
Yeah, I was like, this is where that's from. That's insane. But I thought it was really fun. Personally, I don't remember crying. No, I did. I lied. I cried at the montage.
The montage.
The montage got me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the script was really fun. I thought the world and the colors were really fun. Controversial opinion, but the way that Ken got the limelight in the media, I did not fuck with. I didn't fuck with that. I think it gave me an ick, like, that I can't describe. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I feel like leading up to the movie, Barbie mania was crazy, and as soon as it came out, it switched to Ken mania.
Yeah, which was so crazy because everybody was super excited to go watch it in pink, and like it was just like this whole thing. And when it came out, like obviously Ryan Gosling did amazing, and he did very, very well. But like everybody was so like hyped about the male character in a movie that was like not about that. Like very much about the opposite. So I was just kind of like, why are you guys doing that? Like, what is going on here? So yeah,
I agree. I saw that too, and I was like, well, guys, but the movie said this.
Yeah, I was just like, the movie's called Barbie.
But I guess that's also what happens when you write a comedic relief character that is very
charming.
It's played by a charming ass person.
Yeah,
and also just a charming character.
I was honestly just so annoyed at Ken most of the time. Like I was like, I was charmed by him, but for the most part, I was like, get this fool out of my face.
He did act like a kid. Like that's kind of the vibe.
And if I know that was intentional, or I feel like that was intentional. But yeah, everybody was just hyping him up, and I was just like, guys, what about Barbie? Like, what about her?
Because I guess people like to talk about like funny stuff.
That's true.
And not really talk about the seriousness of it, which also was.
Yeah. And I was seeing tweets about that of just like, oh, well, the reason why so many people enjoyed Ken or like seem to talk about Ken more is because we as a society tend to enjoy comedy more than we do serious topics, or like we know how to handle and digest comedy way better and express that.
But I feel like it's also just the nature of the internet to latch onto the comedic aspect of something.
That's true.
And not the other parts of it. But I feel like the other parts of that conversations were happening in smaller groups with friends.
That's true.
You know? But I do agree that it's like it did switch to Ken Mania.
Yeah. And then like what's Mattel? Is that the company? It's just like milking it like crazy, like Ken.
I have a question. During like the middle part of it, when the daughter Sasha, she gives critiques of Barbie. They never brought them back up. They kind of just dismissed them, which I feel like some of those critiques are fair critiques of Barbie. Like unrealistic beauty standards and all this stuff and this and that.
When she's with the friends?
Yeah.
I've also only seen this movie once, so I'm like trying really hard to remember.
I saw it twice.
Oh shit! He has an advantage. Did they not bring it up again?
I don't think so. And then like, it just like goes into like Barbie mode, you know.
I guess that's something that I was thinking about as well when the Barbie movie was announced, was just like remembering the times where people did call out Barbie, like the doll, and having like unrealistic body expectations, and just like if for especially the girls that like don't look like that, like how they feel kind of growing up, and so I was also I guess expecting that to be tackled, but it didn't. And I feel like the movie tackled similar topics in a different way. Not really body image, I don't think.
A little bit like lines, like the cellulite and like stuff like that. Like
I feel like it was more a reflection of just like identity. Like
I think it had a different purpose, but
I feel like it did have a different purpose.
I don't know. Like I feel like if you were to mention it, try to bring it up more. But also this movie did do a lot and did do a good job in other aspects. So.
Yeah, it was funny. I liked the comedy of it. And the what do you call that? Whimsical? Would you call that whimsical?
Yeah, fantasy.
Kind of, yeah. Just like leaning into that. But it was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed Barbie. One of the best movies I watched. Like most fun also.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking about Barbie a lot, but that montage I also cried because I knew as someone who like makes stuff that montage was probably a lot of the women in who made the movie.
The crew.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
To be able to see that. Oh.
I started crying too. That's when I started crying. I was just like, and then the when did it end? I was like,
Natalia, stop. We're going to get copyrighted.
Sorry.
You sound just like Billie Eilish.
Billie, is that you? But no, I did cry in the montage. I do remember that.
But great movie. One of the best.
Yeah. Latina actress, America Ferrera.
Oh, yeah. Friend of the show. Because we talked about Real Women Have Curves.
Oh, America. We're just on
first name basis. Yeah, she did great. And like, it was just a normal role. She just happened to be Latina, which is great. Yeah, anything else about Barbie?
If you guys have something else to say about Barbie, let us know. Let us know if you guys come for me for the Ken thing. I'm sorry. But
great character, but I feel like it overshadows.
Yeah.
Overshadows it.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about before we move on. I put this on the list, and then Natalia was like, "Did that come out this year?" And I was like, "I checked, and no, it didn't." Or this past year, I watched Elvis, like a week ago or a couple of days ago, maybe.
Damn.
I saw this thing on TikTok and I was like, I don't really know much about Elvis. Let me watch this movie to kind of learn about Elvis. It was intense, or not intense, but like, I think you mentioned it last time, the editing.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's what made me turn it off. But
I think it calms down.
Does it?
It's still kind of very fast, but that opening scene where the camera's just like whoosh, whoosh. I was like throwing up. It was very long. Did not watch it in one sitting. Very interesting. It's very funny because like at the beginning, this is how I would describe Elvis's rise to fame. Elvis sang and people liked it, but what really put him on the map was him swinging his schlong. Because like the movie, that's what the movie made it seem like. The girls were just like, never seen that before, and like yeah, like he was okay before, but then he started doing that shit. That like he was the first person to do it. And he capitalized off that, and like that sent him up into stardom. And I was like, that's so funny, like how they made it like a really big point in the movie at the beginning. I was like, okay.
I feel like I didn't get to that part. I don't think so.
Because he's like nervous, and then he just starts shaking his shit, and then the girls are just like they're literally like kind of orgasming in their seats. Like that's how they shoot it, and I'm just like, huh? Excuse me. But yeah, and then they paint him out to be this like civil rights activist.
Elvis?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah, like Dr. Martin Luther King gets shot, and he's just like, man, what are we gonna do about this? Or like, this shouldn't be happening. And I'm like, I don't know if Elvis felt that way.
I don't think so either.
And it has this like, it like paints the picture that like the black community was very welcoming to Elvis, or like I feel like there was some artists who were, because he took a lot from black artists, because he was raised in like an area where there was a lot of black people. But it kind of, there's this also weird scene where like he goes into a church and they're praying and they're like doing gospel. And he just like feels like the spirit or whatever, and like it kind of paints it as like it's his destiny to push this music out into the world. You get me? Like I didn't like the way they tackled that. It was very interesting to see. Yeah, and then there's like this scene where he's just like stressed out, like he's rising to fame and he's stressed out, and he goes to this like black neighborhood, and like he's with a whole bunch of artists, and he's just like, wow, and just like de-stresses with like black music.
That's crazy. No, well, I am interested of the movie that did come out this year, Priscilla. I didn't see it.
Me neither.
But I hear that one, like Elvis with Austin Butler, painted Elvis to be like this very like praise, like a figure to be praised kind of.
Yeah, and they also made him a victim of like his manager.
I see.
Because his manager would like kind of manipulate him to pushing more and like doing more shows and like doing this and that, like to get money out of him. Which you can be a victim, but you can also be what's it called? What's the opposite of a victim? The person inflicting the pain on other people.
Yeah. I haven't watched Priscilla, but I did hear that it was different.
Yeah.
The portrayal of Elvis was different.
So it was interesting. I watched it very much with a grain of salt, and some of the stuff I'm like, did that really happen? I don't think so. You're showing all like the highlights.
Yeah, the editing was crazy. Me and my mom watched it because I was like, oh, I heard this one's really good. And then we were watching it. And then I think 30, 40 minutes into the movie, we just look at each other and I was like, are you feeling it? She was like, no.
Yeah.
Turned it off.
It's a lot. Yeah. But that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, great movies in 2023. 2023 was also the year that I regained my love for Speed Racer, the movie.
Yeah, I had it on this list, but yeah, I watched it for the first time.
I made him watch it. I loved it as a kid, and I think I had it on DVD and would watch it so much that it would get scratched. And then my dad's a really big Speed Racer fan, but hated the movie, so he would always shit on it. But I always loved it. And I watched it again recently. The editing in that one, beautiful, gorgeous, tremendous, incredible.
It's a great story.
It got horrible reviews online, and I just want to say, what's that one quote? Am I the only one who understands this cinematic masterpiece? I feel like that.
I feel like it has been getting love though. That one TikTok and on Twitter. So you guys haven't watched it.
I loved it. The CGI is terrible, but that is a part of the world. That is the vision. And so
they didn't let budget stop them. So we're going to do it.
They had a dream, but it was really good. Love it. And I think about it often. So
it's really good. And then other movies that we may have not mentioned here, you can find them in the past episodes. Radical, A Million Miles Away, and I feel like those were the only two that came out. Oh, and Blue Beetle also, which was last episode. I believe it's episode 2 for A Million Miles Away, episode 11 for Radical, and then episode 12 for Blue Beetle. So if you want to check out our opinions on those are the episodes that you can listen to. Do we want to move on?
Yes. So again, as a reminder, it's a little bit of a longer episode today, but this because we're just chatting it up, getting warmed up for the more structured episodes that are going to happen throughout the new year. But this one's just a little la-di-da. So we are going to go through some reflections for 2023. I feel like a lot of things happened this year that until we put it on paper, we were like, oh shit, this is a jam-packed year. So we're just going to do kind of rapid fire story times month to month. And you're going to learn some lore about your old hosts. So let's go ahead and start with January 2023, a year ago from now.
Yeah. A year ago from now, one of the highlights, I think, of January was I started an internship at, they made content for social media, like little mini documentaries. And that was one of the first internships where I went into an office. And I think I did learn very much. A lot of the stuff that I learned at that internship, I applied here at this podcast to be able to build it up on social media. So very appreciative of that. And it was not paid, but I got a lot of experience, class credit. So it was very interesting. It was kind of like the beginning of starting to think about careers and building those skills up.
Yeah. And I mean, this didn't happen to me in January, but I also had that same internship
later.
Months down the road, I want to say
Summer.
July.
Yeah.
I think July I had that internship. But Alan scored me the internship, or I feel helped me get it.
I sent an email. That's not. Yeah.
Well, he put a good word in for me, and so they brought me on board because that internship is literally how I graduated. Had I not gotten that internship, I would have not graduated because I needed that last class credit. So I also learned a lot of things from them. And as he said, a lot of the things that we're implementing, a lot of the strategies that we use for our marketing, specifically on social media, is what we learned in the internship. So that just goes to say, you learn a lot in your internships. So if you're a college student, apply to them and get the most you can out of them because you'll learn a lot. So shout out to that internship.
Shout out.
In January of 2023, I started the pre-production for a short film called Self-Love Mija, which I was the director of photography for, but I also kind of helped a little bit more on the producer side as well. Very little. We started casting, I think in January. We had a lot of auditions and a lot of conversations with the director to be had. And it was just a really exciting story to be a part of because like we always said, it was a story for the girlies by the girlies. And just a little rundown of what it's about. I feel like it deals with topics of like womanhood in a college setting. And just like tackles the issues of just like feeling like you're only wanted for your body by a potential love interest. And at the end of the day, your girlies have your back and they'll help you through anything. So you can watch that short film on YouTube.
We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, if you look up Self-Love Mija LFTA, you'll be able to watch it. Beautiful story, beautiful characters, beautiful crew, and beautiful film. But that was my January.
And then moving into February, the Rihanna concert. AKA the Super Bowl. That was really fun. That was the first time I've like been to like an actual like Super Bowl party where it was like my friends and we all brought stuff. We did a carne asada and all that stuff. It was really good. It was really fun.
Was that the burger?
Yeah, the burger.
Burger story. Do you want to tell the burger?
Well, it's your story to tell.
So, when we were in college, my friend bought a really small grill.
$20 grill.
$20 grill from Walmart. So, you know, we had cooked, or Alan and his girlfriend had cooked carne asada on it before, but we'd never cooked like ground beef.
I don't think so. I think that was the first time we used it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's able to cook.
We bought it for the Super Bowl party.
Oh, well, anyway, fast forward. So they were making burgers on the grill. And I think just like how cheap the grill was, like it didn't heat it up all the way.
Also, this was probably my first time fucking doing the carbon, the coals.
Okay, yeah.
So that was my first time I was experimenting. So
yeah, so it was a learning experience, guys. We don't hold anything against anyone, but so on the outside, the burgers looked delicious. They looked cooked and they looked great. And then so I was like fucking up a burger. I put all my little toppings on there and I was like eating it, and I was eating it with my roommate, and I took like another bite, got towards the middle, and it was just like straight up raw. And I was he's laughing. I was just like, I didn't want to like say anything because I didn't want to be rude because you guys work so hard to like make the burgers and like go and get the grill, and like, so I didn't say anything, and I was just kind of like eating it raw. I was eating around it. So I wouldn't eat the middle. So it's just like eating the crust off of the burger. And then so I saw my roommate stopped eating hers too. And we just kind of like went into the corner, and I was just like, is your burger raw? And she was just like, yeah, but I don't know what to say. And then so we just started dying laughing because the way that we both didn't know what to say, and we were just trying to suck it up and eat raw meat. And so Alan comes and he's just like, what are you guys laughing at? And I show him the burger, and I'm just like, dude, it's still mooing. And he thought that was the funniest thing. Like that shit was mooing still. I was like, oh my God. And then they were just making fun of me because they were like, you kept eating it? And I was like...
That's what was so funny to me. It's like half of the burger was gone. And you're telling me now that it's raw.
That it was raw. I didn't get sick, everybody.
She asked me too. She's like, do you think I'm gonna get sick? Should I eat the rest?
I was like, oh shit, like am I gonna get like a stomach bug? And he was like, maybe. And I was like, I can't afford that right now. I was like, damn. But anyway, I didn't get sick, and now we know how to cook our burger.
That was a great story. I love that. I forgot that happened. But you also made a delicious chicken buffalo dip.
Oh yeah, I love a good dip.
Fucked it up.
Good.
But then I guess also for February, it was also Valentine's Day. I had a really great Valentine's Day. I had a nice little picnic with my girlfriend, and it was cold as fuck. But then this photographer came and took our picture, and we were on the Daily Bruin. So that was beautiful, neat.
Slay. Let me see. February was also shooting the short film that we were talking about.
Towards the end?
Yeah, towards the end. We shot the short film, as well as finishing up UCLA thesis season for TFT, which is the film school. So that was very like a nice end to projects that me and my cohort, or that I had been helping my cohort on. And so it wrapped up, I think, in February. And great experience that I had. I lost a lot of my social life fall quarter of that year because I was just working on those sets.
Winter.
Oh
no, fall.
Fall,
Yeah,
fall,
you're right, right.
But yeah, so it finished in February. It went from like November to February, I think. But yeah, that's our February.
Beautiful, yeah. The Self-Love Mija set, before was very fun. I forgot what I was on there.
Were you crafty?
Low-key crafty, yeah. But just like, also like a kind of supervising producer. I was just like, is everything good, guys? You guys good? But yeah, March, I just put LFTA sets. So if you guys don't know, me and Natalia were part of this Oregon college called the Latina Film and Theater Association at UCLA. And we just made short films and live theater productions. Me and Natalia ran it our junior year. And then me and someone else ran it our senior year. But Natalia was still very much involved because she has a lot of knowledge. And yeah. It was in March was our last set.
Yeah, of undergrad. And I cried and I was like, don't look at
me. With this organization that we had been in since our freshman year. And I guess we'll get into it more in May because there's another event that happens in May. But yeah, it was our last time being on one of these sets that we helped cultivate what they would look like our junior year. So to say goodbye to that was very bittersweet.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like LFT was just a huge part of my identity. So had a little bit of an identity crisis, I feel like, after graduating. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, so it was our last set of undergrad, and definitely felt like just a lot of like feeling proud of the work that the org was doing, and also the work that like we had done too, and cultivating it, and just like seeing everything that we fought for come to life with that. So that was really nice. And then so I cried in front of everybody, and I hate that keeps me up at night. But
there's also another article on that on La Gente.
Oh yeah,
if you guys want to read it,
go check that out.
LFTA UCLA, search it. But yeah, this is another big one for you.
Oh yeah, so in March, my lore is that for the TFT program, the film school program at UCLA, you're supposed to choose a concentration to graduate with. I was a cinematography concentration strictly at first, and then I accidentally fell into screenwriting and ended up double concentrating in both cinematography and screenwriting. And
you heard that right.
You heard that right. And so part of the thesis project for the screenwriting concentration is to finish a feature-length script, which was very daunting at first because I was originally only supposed to stay in the screenwriting program for a quarter just to get credits. Yeah, just to get credits and to be considered a full-time student. But then I fell in love with it. The professor was amazing, and the people that were in that class were amazing. And I was just like, I was given the opportunity to tell stories that I've always wanted to tell, but just didn't know how, or didn't like have the support that I needed. So in March, I finished my very first draft of my very first feature film ever. So it was, I want to say it was 97 pages long. And it was just like a story that was near and dear to my heart. And it was like a queer coming of age story in a college setting, that also deals with topics of, I know we had brought this up in a different episode of like what happens after immigration, or like what happens after generations, of Mexican Americans that like live here in the US. So that story kind of dealt with that and just like feeling that identity and then trying to fall back in love with your roots after like years of assimilation through folklorico dancing. So
great script, great story. I really love it. I really love the concept and the story for it.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with it. I want to revisit it. I will. I just needed a break from it because I like ate, slept, and breathed that script forever. But yeah, so that was March.
Yeah. Moving on to April. I went to Coachella in April, and not just the city, but to the actual music festival in April. It was my first ever music festival, and I had a great time. I got to see Bad Bunny, Blackpink, Gorillaz, Blink-182, Galiuchis, Becky G, like a lot of artists, and I was like, whoa, it was really fun. Got to dress up. It was great. Yes, that's it for me for April. I feel like other stuff happened in April too, but that was like the highlight of April.
I loved seeing the Coachella fits, or like when you would get an outfit and you would like do a fashion show. Like, this is what I'm gonna wear on day one. This is what I'm gonna wear on day two. So it was fun to like live through you and be like, ah!
It was fun to splurge because a lot of those shirts were kind of expensive, but like I still wear them now and they're still really good. So
yeah. So one day I might go. Festivals are a little bit too much for me.
It is a lot, yeah.
It looked the lineup was really cool. In April, I got a gay ass haircut.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for the haircut.
For the gay ass haircut. Woo! I feel like I had the same hairstyle since second grade my whole life, where it's just the fuck ass side part. And so, I had been wanting to change my hair forever, but I was just like a little bitch and I was like scared of the commitment of like doing it. And then so I had suspicions that my hair was textured, that it had like a little bit of a wavy curly texture because it was just poofy and gross and weird. So I had been doing research forever, like literally since COVID. I had been like kind of like
I was gonna say, I was like, it's kind of crazy that only happened in April.
Yeah, like because I was just like dabbling, and also because the products were so expensive, and I was just like, I don't.
Yeah.
But then I found products that weren't. But just like the whole concept of taking care of hair was like so expensive, and I was like, ugh. But anyway, so in April, I had done research on a salon that specialized in textured hair and saved up a lot of money for the haircut because it was expensive, and found a hairdresser that I really liked. I feel like for me, hairdressers were always a kind of like a daunting experience because like the hairdressers that I used to go to when I was little, they would always have something to say about my hair, or like because I have gray hair, so like I would say like a good like 15% of my hair is gray, and it has been since I was like 10. And they'd always be like, your hair is gray, like you need to do this to it, you need to color it, you need to do like basically like giving me the beauty standards that I needed to follow. And I was just like, I don't really fuck with this judgy ass vibe here. But so this new hairdresser was super welcoming, was super sweet, and she was also queer too. Like the salon was an all women owned salon, and a lot of the hairdressers were queer, and they were just like talking, like I had been telling them, was like, I've been eyeing this little gay ass haircut, like will you give it to me? And she's like, I think you're gonna rock this little gay ass haircut, and she was right.
She was right. Yeah.
So shout out to her.
Looks great.
Thank you.
It's looked great ever since. So.
Thank you. Yeah. So I got my little gay ass haircut in April, and the rest is history. I feel like I also had a confidence boost with the haircut. I feel like I was just like, damn.
I think I saw you like blossom. Yeah. I think I did see that in you. You were just like.
Yeah, my little sister was just like, okay, confidence boost. I was just like,
I'm glad.
So if you've been eyeing that little gay ass haircut, get that little gay ass haircut and fuck around and find out.
But yeah, looks great. Looks great right now. So
thank you. Thank you. So that was my April.
And another thing in April, which kind of like was also in the previous months in January, was Night of Cultura rehearsals, which again, that goes back to LFTA and that club that we were a part of. Night of Cultura was the event that we always have in May, where we showcase the short films that we were working on, like the one that Natalia mentioned, Self Love Mija, and also live theater productions. So just rehearsing for that show, because it is a live show, although we are showing short films, it is a live show, like everything has to go pretty well. So rehearsing for that, you were...
Oh my God. I acted in that.
Yeah.
I hella forgot.
You acted.
I acted in that one. I took on a role that was very like from a play that was a drama that dealt with very serious and heavy topics of like body image. And I played the mom of a character who was struggling with a recovering eating disorder and just like facing triggers. So it was written by my dear friend Ian Bastida.
Shout out.
A little shout out to him. Beautiful writing, beautiful structure. And so I was casted at this role for the mom, and I was very nervous to take it on because there's a very intense scene at the end that required just like really high emotions, and I am not an actress. It was just something that I had been interested in trying, so I felt underqualified, and I was just like, oh, like I don't know how they're gonna get it out of me to like portray the scene and like portray the emotions that needed to be portrayed. And up until the show, I feel like at rehearsals, like I was able to get the sound, but the acting, I just like couldn't really do it. And I feel like when we started doing rehearsals like on the stage, I was able to like kind of feel those emotions while I was on stage. And I feel like the first time I did it on the stage, like me and my scene partner, like we literally had to take a breather, and like we just like were looking at each other and didn't say anything. We're just like like we were like, oh fuck. Like it was just so much emotions, and I was like, if somebody talks to me right now, I will burst out crying. Please do not look at me. Like it was just really intense. And I'm kind of proud of myself for taking on that role. I feel like there was definitely times there where I was just like, what if I quit? What if I drop out? I was like, what if we give this role to somebody else that can do it? But I was like, no, like I agreed to this. I committed to this. And I'll stick through it. And I had a lot of fun. It was a very fun time.
And I will say, I think Natalia was the breakout star. I think you were probably the best. You and Octavio, who was your scene partner, I think you guys stole that stage.
Liar.
There was a lot. No, I'm being serious. There was a lot of other great actors who also did really great, but I think you guys brought that energy and left people speechless. So yeah,
it was crazy. I still to this day have not watched
the recording.
The recording. I can't do it.
But you did a fantastic job, and I'm glad that you brought yourself out of that comfort zone.
Yeah,
and did something out of your comfort zone.
Very much out of my comfort zone.
It paid off, I think. But yeah, I guess that bleeds us into May with Night of Cultura, because that's when that was. Self Love Mija premiered, which was, I edited it. You did the director of photography, and just I was co-running that organization, so I got to see all these projects from their infancy all the way up to when they were ready to show. And very stressful time, these like 2 months and that month leading up to that show. But our last Night of Cultura, something that we put our whole hearts into since our freshman year, and it being ruined by COVID. So the fact that this show was supposed to have, we were supposed to have the show 4 times, our freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. We only got it our junior and our senior year. But still being in the org, during COVID, we were still active members in this organization, and it meant a lot. And to see it to have that be the final show was very,
very special. My parents pulled up this time.
Yeah.
I feel like because my family lives in the Bay Area, so they pulled up to Los Angeles to watch the show. And it was because, like I said, it was my first time acting, and it was the first time my parents saw me act too. And they're like, I just like remember my dad makes this funny face before he cries. Like, me and my sisters are always like, or like, but or like he would just like will be very quiet and like not say anything. So I think like our play, like I saw them during intermission. Like I went out to like look at them.
Yeah, because I think it was the last one before intermission.
Yeah, and they were just like, they were just like speechless. Like they didn't know what to say. My mom was tearing up. I think my mom related to my character a lot. And I feel like when I was being casted, like that's what I talked about. I was just like, I feel like I bring a lot of my mom into this character. So she was definitely like tearing up with it. But my sisters were just like, damn, what the hell? Like, yeah, hello. But yeah, so that was May.
Very special. Yeah. And then we had a retreat, which was also kind of like marking the end actually of like our time running that org and just like being kind of heads in that org. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on to June because we're running out of time as always.
Yeah.
We graduated in fucking June. Crazy. We graduated university.
We have low-key, we have a bachelor's degree.
If you guys are seeing this, we have a bachelor's degree.
We're
not shy about it. Hire us.
Oh my God.
I guess just any short story or anything of just how you felt about that.
I feel like just like a culmination of hard work was crazy because I feel like I had gone to my oldest sister's graduation when she graduated college and I cried so much and I was just like, oh my God, like it's just like those things that like you are expected to do but it's still really fucking hard like when you do it. I mean I personally had a little bit less of a demanding major.
Still a lot of time commitment.
It was a lot of time commitment, but no like up late studying and stuff like that. So props to everybody who does do that. But it was just like a culmination of hard work and dedication and putting time in to get stuff out. And I mean, before even graduating, we did have our senior showcase too, which was the film school showcased all of the films that we made in the undergrad career. And I also got to be part of the screenwriting panel, talk about my script that I talked about earlier. I finished my other pilot, and I played my cinematography reel, which you can find on my Instagram. Go check it out. Go look at it on my Instagram. But just like a lot of work that I was proud to show because I feel like a lot of my work does focus on Latino stories and amplifying those voices. And a lot of that was seen through both my cinematography reel and my screenwriting panel conversation. So I was just like, I was just a little girl in a big world. And it was crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, I think everything coming to like a culmination point in June was very not symbolic, but it's just like ever since I was in middle school, I knew that I was going to go that I wanted to go to a university, and I knew that I wanted to graduate, and I felt it in me that like I can do it. And as someone who's first generation and having to do a lot of these things by yourself, like graduating from college is no easy feat, and just like always, I'm very optimistic. I'm very kind of I guess like manifesting, like I see myself doing it, and I've had seen myself doing it for so long, and then the day finally came and I was like, wow, I was like, we fucking did it. And just proud of everybody in our circles and our friends, just great time to be happy with everybody about it.
I feel like it's just like such a happy high moment graduating. And then just moments after, just not so great.
Let's move into July. Boom. The first kind of half of July was really enjoying those last days in Westwood.
Yeah.
In our apartment that me and Natalia had lived for 2 years. Again, creating a space where our friends could meet and hang out and we can host people and, just having a lot of fun in this apartment. Saying goodbye to it was very hard.
Yeah, I feel like July was just like the month where there was just so much change going on in every aspect of my life, and a big one was moving out of, as we called it, the Fruity Factory, which was just like this little apartment that was just my old roommate called it the heart of Westwood. That there was just so many memories attached to it, and like literally feeling like we made a video making fun of it, but like feeling when Hannah Montana moved out of her home and they're just like, come on Miley, it's time to say goodbye to our home, or no, trying to say hello to our new home and goodbye to the old one. Like that was literally us. And just like giving it a little kissy kissy goodbye. Seeing it empty was really weird. Yeah, it was just like a crazy time to reflect as well, of just like also our friendship too, because like when we moved in together, like we knew each other, but like we weren't like close. Yeah. So just like doing that whole full circle.
Yeah. And again, like with the LFTA, like the org, like our freshman year, that's the way we bonded, and that's the way we continued to bond and grew to be such great and like strong friends. And yeah, I think July and like as much as it's very big highs, also like a lot of lows of like, it, like this chapter's done.
Yeah, very, very bittersweet. I feel very bittersweet.
But also other sweet moments, like my girlfriend's graduation party, which we went to Coachella again, and we like rented an Airbnb, and it was it was like a road trip. All of us went. It was like 6 of us, and such a fun road trip. I think.
Yeah, I feel like that. I count that as like my post-grad trip too. It was a lot of fun. It was like with people that were very special to me, and just like being able to celebrate, being able to experience Coachella when it's hot. Jesus Christ. But it was so much fun. And just like happened in a time where I really needed it to. So that was really fun.
Very special, I think, in July.
Yeah.
I also went to a quinta in July, but first quinta in a while. It was fun. August is when I had my internship, I think, right? Or no, is that you or... No, that's you. Yeah, that's me.
My awkward. I was just like, I didn't have my internship in August.
Stolen valor.
Whoa. Guys, me when I lie.
Do you want to go first for August?
Sorry. So I didn't have an internship in August. In August, I was apartment hunting like crazy because I was living in a sublease because I knew I'd made a deal with my parents that I get to stay out in LA one more year after graduating, and I was like, well, shit, I got an apartment hunt. So that was a crazy experience to do that while being in a living situation that I knew wasn't permanent. So I couldn't really settle in. I was just kind of like always like on edge of like, okay, where are my things here? Oh, well, they're still in the box. Should I take them out? Should I unpack them? Like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it was just like a really insecure time, or just like nothing was really set in stone. So very nerve-wracking, very anxious all the time. Having some pretty unhealthy coping mechanisms, but alas, here we are in the apartment that me and Milena found. So
hell yeah,
here we are. It all worked out.
In August, I believe my girlfriend was still in Westwood, so I still kind of had that tie, and she was still in Los Angeles. And I remember August and kind of July just going on a lot of dates with her and trying to appreciate that time that she was still here in LA, where she was. I mean, I went back home. It was still a little bit of a drive, but it like nothing compared to when she would move back home. So just appreciating that, going on a lot of dates. It was very nice. And then I had my internship.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just like, internship. And then I saw lots of I was like...
I had my internship at a podcast company. And again, I learned a lot it was a paid internship. It was over the summer. And I learned a lot of stuff about podcast marketing, which again, I implemented in this. And I'm glad that I did, because now we're here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was August.
Shout out to that internship, because I had learned a lot from you too.
September
was the birth of the podcast.
Yeah. End of September is when we posted, and I think maybe August, September is when we started to like conceptualize and be like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah,
let's try something.
Yeah, we were just like talking about it. We were like, let's do it. So September was when we started the podcast, and I know we talked about it in previous episodes, but it really was a way to cope with the many changes that were happening in our lives, and try to like feel like we have a grasp on something, and continue to do something that we enjoy, and to do something together, which we're very good at working as a team. So that was very much fun. Yeah.
And then my girlfriend's birthday was also in September, and she came back to LA after moving. I think she had like 1 week home, and then she came back just like for the weekend for her party which we had here, and it was very fun. It was a very fun party.
It was a very fun party.
Yeah.
I really liked that party. But yeah, that was our September.
October, it was our first Halloween post-grad, and it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. I actually went to Westwood for a party, so that was funny to like run into old people there, and they were just like, what what are you doing here? And I was like, don't look at me. But yeah, it was many costumes.
We went to a house party in Long Beach too for Halloween.
Oh yeah, we did.
Which was very fun. It was
very
great.
Fun.
Beautiful house.
Gorgeous house.
I went on a lot of spooky dates with my girlfriend again in October. That was fun. Corn mazes, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. This episode is just shout out Swendy.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to November?
October is also the month where I began my unemployment. I feel like I kind of, what's that called? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. And I quit that job with a lot of confidence that I would be able to secure something in the next month. And I was humbled very quickly. It is now January and I still don't have a job. So I think that was kind of like when my unemployment started and when I kind of like was forced to have this like perspective change of like, oh shit, like now what do I do? So it's been a journey. It's been a journey. But okay. So now moving on, November, I just put podcast stuff. Because I think end of October, November is when we started to see that like big spike in growth for the podcast. And that was very exciting to see something that we had been working on in a short period of time to like start having that success was very great to see and to welcome you guys into our community and to our audience was great. Yeah. A lot of growth in November, a lot of fast growth. I think November was a month where just like everything started to spike. And so besides the podcast up, which I kind of was going all in on because I was just not hearing back from jobs or getting rejected, was also going back into thesis season at UCLA for the seniors this year, which was like very strange for me to do because I had already graduated, but my attitude was kind of just like, well, I'm unemployed. I'm not doing anything with my time. Let me just go help out and let me learn something in the process, make use of my time. And I feel like that's something that I've struggled with the most with unemployment is just feeling useless. So that was really nice. Thank you guys for welcoming me back on your sets. So I worked on a lot, or a handful. And I had a lot of fun and it was nice to get to interact with people again because, you know, we always talk about post-grad is very lonely. So it was nice to like interact with people, make new friends, meet new people, work with people. It's really cool.
Lit. And now December, the most recent month, the year fucking ended. Best thing about December. I don't know. I feel like we have stuff, but maybe we should do that in the catch up for next episode.
For the next episode?
Maybe.
Okay.
Or you can just mention it too. But I feel like you have funny stories for that too.
Okay. Well, I'll just mention like the gist of that. At the beginning of the episode, I mentioned that I was in Mexico for Christmas. It was my first time going since 2015. And the reason I went was because my grandparents were able to celebrate 60 years of marriage. So yeah, shout out them. So they wanted to do a little anniversary party in the church that they got married, which was in Aguascalientes, Mexico. And it was just a really sweet party. I wanted to shoot photo and video for them for that event. Also just to like have documentation of my grandparents. I think that's something that's really important to me. So I got to interview them about their marriage, about their lives, about them coming to the US, and it was really sweet. I learned a lot of lore, and I can't wait, or I'm very happy that I have that footage now and that the family has that footage and that they're able to see the legacy that they kind of like left on us. So very fun stuff. So maybe be on the lookout. I'll probably post stuff on my main Instagram. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. That was December for me.
Nice. And with that, I think a little bit of a longer episode too, but I think that is it for today's episode. If you guys are listening on a podcast platform, go ahead and make sure to give us a rating and a review. It would help us out a lot. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to follow us on social media or on Instagram and on TikTok, it is at handmedownpod. Thank you guys very much for listening. First episode of the year. Woo!
Woo! It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for sticking around and for growing with us. Be on the lookout for the Discord. It will happen. We would love to speak with you guys. Yeah. Have a little chat, have a little giggle.
We have great things planned for this year already. So we have great episodes planned ahead. So stay on the lookout for that. And with that,
bye.
Bye-bye.
The Hand Me Down podcast is produced and hosted by Natalia Delgado and Alan Gallardo. This episode was edited by Alan Gallardo, and the social media clips are edited by Natalia Delgado. And I'm the associate producer, Milena Ortega. We'll see you next week.